Advocacy tactics. Okay. Now let's get dig a little bit deeper. Okay. Writing letters. Writing letters to policymakers, writing letters to the editor, whether it's part of a campaign, by parents, by teachers, by whomever you are organizing, is important. I'll tell you, I worked at Capitol Hill, I'll tell you, when my member of Congress got 5 letters on the same thing, it got his attention. I hear this all the time. Oh, they don't care. Oh, you know, they're not paying attention to that. They pay attention. Sometimes they pay too much attention. They're hypersensitive to their letters. And today, letters are, snail mail and email and Twitter messages and Facebook campaigns and all that stuff. But if it's directed at the policymakers, and I'm sure this is the case in Tallahassee or in local government too, they pay a lot of attention. You can have a lot of impact by a simple letter writing campaign. It almost sounds too simple, but it frequently works. Okay, making phone calls, okay. We're kind of back to 1970s advocacy, but it still makes a difference. Lighting up those switchboards makes a difference. It does. It makes a huge difference. Again, like I said, if a policymaker gets just a handful of calls, it may not change their mind, it may not affect their vote, they may not even care, but you will get their attention. They will either spend some time on their own, becoming better educated about the issue, if they know they're going to have to respond in some way, or they're going to have staff researching it, you're going to get their attention. Okay. Meeting with your elected officials. I know it's important that face time is important. And I know I heard some great things here. I just heard last night there's a busload of youth going to Tallahassee. It's coming up. Amazing. Amazing. Meeting with your elected officials is critical. And you will have to make decisions about lots of decisions in those meetings, lots of things to think about. There may be someone in your group that is a better spokesman for a particular legislator. There may be someone who is a friend of the policymaker. You're going to have to make some very strategic decisions. But meeting with elected officials is clearly a great strategy. Practice. Okay. Organize clients to benefit from services. Okay. All right, child care providers, here you go. Here's your one. Or, parents access child care today. Clients of parents of foster care kids, foster grandparents, parents, teachers, you name it. Organize the clients that benefit from your services. They often bring the most passion, they have the best understanding of something on the ground, and they are a very credible source. If you, for example, if you go into a policy elected official's office to talk about child care, and you have a parent who has children in child care, they have a very authoritative voice. They're not, and that, believe me, that will get their attention more than diving deep into the regulation or code. Telling the story of that client or that parent. Contact the media, I think we've already talked a little bit about that. Educating the media, bringing them along. You do have to educate the media too. It's the 5 W's and the H, fairly simple, straightforward again. Know whom to bring. Again, we're talking about meetings. Know who to bring to those meetings. I will tell you, it's an important thing to think about. If you are doing a campaign where you're going to be talking to your governor, you're talking to your mayor, you're talking to your congressman, your senators, who do you bring to that meeting? And look, some people have more, going to have more political punch or political gravitas with whomever that is. You're going to have to think about that. It may be the mayor's mother, sister is a child care provider. It may be that the congressman's brother is foster parent, free foster parents. Think about who to bring. Know what to bring. What kinds of research, what kinds of data. This is always tough, and I don't want to generalize too much. And some of it gets back to message, which we'll talk about. But bring what you need to bring, no more than that. In terms of the research, the data, the messaging, be clear. Know when is the best time to schedule visits. This is one, it's hard, but it's part of thinking about what's the best time of the year to go to Tallahassee, and even what's the best time of the day. There maybe in mornings are a better time for policymakers than afternoons. Now in Washington, most hearings are held in the morning, so you don't want to bring, a group of to a policymaker, in the morning, unless you have absolutely no choice, because the policymaker is going to be distracted with hearings, or you're going to not, at the end, you're not going to talk to the congressman, you're going to talk to their staffer. So what's the best time? Know where you will meet. This depends on the policymaker, on the situation. Meeting in the community can be as impactful as going to Tallahassee or going to Washington. One of the congressmen I used to work for used to go visit, regularly was invited to elementary and secondary schools, child care centers, to those places to talk with staff, talk with parents. Where are you going to meet? Know why you are there. Don't go there to shoot the bull. You're there to make your case. Make it. And know how to make the case. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. It's a really critical point. There's probably something that, if you want to hold one little thing today, one little nugget, know how to make your case is probably the one. Whatever it is, you know how to make your case, you're going to be a much more effective advocate, regardless of